Hello, my name is Venom, and today I figured it was the right day to make a video about one of my favorite things in herbalism, oil infusions. And so I hope this gives a bit of an idea of one of the options that I can prepare for people for herbs. So oils are great for topical use, and they can also be taken internally, but I would um, it depends on the herb. Some things love to release into oil. Some things would rather release into alcohol or glycerin, and so glycerite. So it depends on the herb, but I feel like there's something about oils that really speaks to my soul. I love having the daily ritual of putting oils on my body, and this morning was 11:11, and I thought, okay, this is the day for me to start a bunch of oils. I just bottled a beautiful oil that I made, and I'm remembering all over again how much I love straining the herbs out of oil after it has infused by the window, and I've been looking at it and waiting for it. So I figured I would introduce some oils. This is calendula flowers and sunflower oil, and oh my gosh, this one I'm really excited about. I guess that's why I picked it up first, is because sunflower oil is my favorite oil for vulvas, and it's also safe in other internal use and intimate use situations, like it is safe to put in the rectum. And calendula is a soothing herb, and I got local calendula and local sunflower oil, and the beautiful bold flowers opening in the sun. There's times before when I was working on a farm where I was in charge of picking the fresh calendula, and it's like you just get that good the openness of being a free spirit in the summer is the calendula spirit to me, and I'm really excited for this one. I don't know if it'll be on its own or if it'll get made into a salve with beeswax, but I really see this being something very beautiful and very healing and soothing for vaginal and vulva tissues. So this is an oil I'm super excited about. I also put calendula in olive oil. And this one, olive oil is slightly acidic, and so when vaginas get thrown off of their pH by something like semen that's alkaline, olive oil is a great one to bring it back into balance. So that's the only time I would use olive oil vaginally. But this would also be a great one just as like an anal loop, because olive oil does really well in situations that don't need to be pH neutral. And it's also great for calendula is super soothing to the skin. So I feel like if I had any skin irritations, I would want to use this. Any itchiness is a great use for calendula. I started some tulsi in olive oil. Tulsi is holy basil. It grows. The way that I always see the spirit is in pots on the steps leading up to a temple, a Hindu temple in India. And so it's this fragrance that like kind of cleanses your aura and also escalates you into a readiness for meeting some divine spirits and showing up with reverence and grace and humility, but a good humility, like a groundedness in how we need to surrender to the divine sometimes. And so tulsi really gives me that energy. It smells delicious. And I'm not sure what this will go into, but I'm really excited about this combination. This might even just become like a cologne, like a solid cologne, because it just smells so good. I can see this doing well with some cedar wood and maybe some myrrh oil. I think that's what it will be. It will become a cologne. I started some comfrey leaf and sesame oil. Oh, it's very dark. So comfrey is also called knit bone, and I love this for my joints. Comfrey you don't want to put it on like a big open wounds, because it actually has such a penetrative effect of going deep into tissues that it would actually like seal in an infection if it's like an open wound. But for something like joint pain, where you want something that goes in deep and it's not on top of like something that needs to superficially heal, comfrey is just my favorite. I love it for tendons. I love it for spine stuff. I really love it for knees and ankles. I feel like this, knees, ankles, and shoulders, this is just my favorite herb for that part of the body. And I specifically chose organic raw sesame oil because sesame oil is very grounding. And I figure that for me making this for knees and ankles in particular, like grounding energies going down into the earth is going to be a really nice ally for the comfrey action I'm looking for. And I think that they're already best friends. I love sesame oil. I should be working with it more often. I have such an affinity for eating olive oil, and it's interesting for me to be learning through my experience that there's oils want to do different things depending on how you use them. And that sounds so obvious, but over time, raw sesame oil and topical use I'm really vibing with. And then finally, the oil I started this morning, I just let myself at the end do a cocktail, a wild card of just like me getting to be a mad scientist. So I had a pinch left of some wild harvested mugwort that I collected a couple years ago from next to the river. So it's this amazing river. It feels so good energetically where I like to go. And then there's this big tall mugwort that like dances, and it's like all the way up to my heart space, like how tall it gets. And so I'm always very gentle when I wildcraft, and so I didn't take that much, and I just wanted some of that good spirit of that's also something that shows up in like springtime, like a nice warm spring day. So the way calendula has like a summer energy, that fresh mugwort just brings in some. I feel like since when I'm making this video, it's 11/11. We're going into winter. I really liked the idea of like just that little pinch of springtime past that would join in this oil. So it's also here with organic lavender and organic peppermint. And those just were for fragrance. I'm really feeling this as a scalp care oil. I love peppermint and jojoba oil are my two favorite things for scalp, for any itchiness or any dryness. And it's also, I think, so important for headaches. Peppermint oil and massaging your scalp together, even if you just did peppermint oil on things and massaged your scalp without any oils or anything, but combining all of those to me just felt right. Lavender's so soothing and grounding. Lavender and mugwort are best friends. And then the other oil, for the oils, jojoba, sweet almond, and olive. And so I figured, yeah, just a wild blend. To me, this is how I let loose and go wild, is I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to put in all of my favorite things and see if they're all friends together and if it's a party. So if I were to make oils for someone else, well, they do take a long time. Sometimes I want to really let them take many months, like a good 5 months, if it's something that I think needs that sort of infusion. Some of these might be ready in 6 weeks. I check on them all the time. I talk to the herbs, and I can also see by any color change that happens in the oils, if they're ready. And so if someone wants a specific type of oil, like let's say they want me to work with, maybe they're allergic to nuts, but the plant that I want, I had infused in sweet almond oil, so I need to start it over, something like that. Or it's just an herb that I haven't started yet that I would have to start fresh. It might take a while, but I always use astrological transits, numerology. I wait until like the perfect day to start it and to bottle it. I make sure that they're getting just that right energy. I'm so intentional, and then when I get to make it specifically for someone, I get to really spend some time feeling into what day might be perfect. So I feel like all these oils having 1111 and Scorpio season energy, I think they're going to do some deep transformative work, and I think they're going to be great initiating and awakening energies. Um, and so it's just a sense of one of my favorite things to do with herbs. And if you have any questions about herbs, if you are curious but you're not really sure what to ask for, we can talk about where you're at, and I can suggest what herbs or what practices might be beneficial to you. So thank you so much. This was Venom of Magical Venom, and I hope you have so many blessings come to you.